Okay, so when we came here a couple of days ago, which seems a lot longer now, our problem was that we are an organisation that has around 140 sites across Queensland, and we deliver thousands of hours of clinical training to clinicians across Queensland. And we use mannequins like this and another mannequin which we still have in the box at the back, which costs about $30,000, and we freight these across Australia. And the problem with them is, although they're fantastic, is they don't change colour, and the visual cues for mannequins on real people are really important for clinicians to learn how to make a diagnosis and how to critically think how you're going to treat them. And so what we wanted to do was change the colour of the mannequins. But then our minds were blown by the team that we're working with, and we thought, and that's why the mannequin is sitting in a box out there. It's a wonderful mannequin, just in case any of the manufacturers are listening, but it doesn't do what we exactly want it to do. And so they started talking about different things and different concepts, and I think that's a credit to the diversity of this event, because we've got blind spots, things that we just didn't know we didn't know. And so we've developed two proof of concepts. The first one is the training environment, or an environment for 3D models to go into. And basically what the environment is able to do is able to host 3D models, and we built a baby to go in that model, and I'll show you a little video. You can log in as an instructor, or you can log in as a student, and the instructor has different access and different levels of being able to manipulate the mannequins. And I'm going to play a little video here of the baby that we created, and I'll talk over it as it plays. So I realise I've got a minute left. Okay, so this is so baby Juno was created, and you can just have this on an iPad and this 3D model, and we've just shown the concept that we can map actual real baby image to the model, front and back, and turn it over, and they can do this in virtual reality, or they can do it as a 3D model. And there you can see it's a little bit uncanny valley, I know that. But we're going to make it look a lot realer, right? And quick, come on video, faster, faster. Here's the 3D model that you can, so we can manipulate that. And so they're able to use these just on an iPad. They can up the files. In these remote areas, they don't have access to the internet. And so some of these sites like Bamaga or Torres Cape, they don't have access to the internet, so they're able to just have the files and load them up and swap between them. And this is the browser-based version. So this is the instructor view, and previously saw the augmented reality view. So they can manipulate the mannequin, and they can see in the instructor. So they're able to do it for, say, from Brisbane, to do remote training to the people in these remote areas. So it's a lot of the time the experts, like Sue here, are in Brisbane, and it's expensive to fly them out to these places. Last but one slide is the technical slide. Time's up, and I don't know anything about that, so we'll use that for the questions for the team afterwards. And these are the possibilities. So real quick, I know my time's up, but is that okay? Okay. I will slow my speech down a little bit then. It's going to explode, right? Okay, so the possibilities for this. We thought originally that it could just be used for a 3D model of a baby, but then we started thinking, well, what else could we put in there? So we could use it for telemedicine. We already work in my organisation with telemedicine about how to use it for actual clinical practice, so that they could have 3D models that they could review while they in these remote areas, while they were treating the patients. We also thought about distance learning, so it's browser-based, so anyone can use it, no apps to download or anything, they can just access it, and there's a little code that they type in just to get access to it. Just-in-time training for rehearsal in clinical areas. They just review something on their phone just before they'll do any kind of clinical intervention. For clinical education, so we work with the Jameson Trauma Institute at the Royal Brisbane Hospital, which is a statewide organisation. I already know they're interested in this sort of thing. For burns as well, we work with a burn surgeon who's already really keen to look at these kind of diverse ways of learning. And the statewide podiatry network are already looking at ways that they can teach some of the nurses that don't have the podiatry skills in these remote areas how to look after something and look at it in the 3 dimensions rather than a static image. And for equipment training, things like defibrillators and ventilators. And just a huge thanks to the team. They really opened our eyes to what was possible, and they did a fantastic job. Thanks very much.